shipped, and the price is high as hell. And it's
Always
like,
battling with myself, and I'm always striving to be a higher self. Whenever I let my ego take over, I make mistakes. I do things that I didn't intend on doing. I do things that I don't want to do. I do things that I'm ashamed of. And so maybe that's my problem. My problem is being ashamed of these things, like letting them bother me. Because I think a lot of people just go through life and whatever they did wrong you know, they don't never even look at it. They just keep it rolling. And maybe that's the right way to go. I don't know. What I'm saying is my ego is a problem. Whenever I let it run the show, it leads me down a road that I don't want to go on, you know? And I don't think I'm the only one. I think there's plenty of other people out there that's like me who are trying to fight against their ego. I think we need it sometimes, so we can't completely kill it or destroy it. I don't think that's even possible, really. And I also believe in balance. So if you suppress it too much, then there's going to be something else that's out of whack. So that's one of the problems I think that I've had in my life. People say that I'm too nice. And so I think as a result of that, I tend to get taken advantage of. I just want to be a good person. I just want to set the example. I just want to be. That's another part of it. People think that I think I'm better than others, and I don't. I don't. I know we're all human, um, but the way I carry myself is in a way to hopefully be an example for others. You know, we can be better. Humans, we can be better. We can do better. We can move around on a higher plane. We don't have to indulge in our lower self all the time. You know, I really believe that. So it's a big reason why I carry myself in the way that I do. I love humans. Some days I hate them, but I love them. I really do deep down. I'm a human. And I think it's a really cool ass creation that God made. So, I want to elevate us. I think that we can do better. We can be better. And I think that we have been better in the past. I think one of the things that the Bible is talking about is the fall of man. The fall of man. Okay. And I think that that's one of the main themes that's going in there. It's not that we were born as, in sin. I don't believe in that. But us falling from what we could be or what we have been, I think that is a thing. So, and then at the end of the day, even if we hadn't fallen and we were, you know, existing in our higher self, there would still be this, danger of falling. So I think that that's what it is. So, related to my ego as a problem, I think as a society we have an ego problem. You know, we have a real problem with letting our ego take over and take control. And I don't know if people really understand what I mean, but it's like, it's kind of like that other self that's inside of you that tells you to do this or tells you to do that. And at the end of the day, your ego is really just trying to protect you. But that can be dangerous as you have to have, if you have this complete bubble, like we live in our algorithm. So our algorithm has become an extension of our ego. It's the little bubble that we live in that protects us. You know it, it keeps us from seeing what we did wrong, or what we can do better, even where our shortcomings are. We don't want to see any of that. And it also tells us that we're better than we are. It's like the illusions of grandeur. When you get lost in that idea that I'm better than I actually am, or I can do things that I actually can't. Not to say that anything's impossible, but there goes the balance again. We have to, you know, live in the real world. And the ego will take us out of the real world, and we'll be in this fantasy that's totally in our head. We're in our head alone. And we're not in the real world. So therefore, when things happen that we don't understand, It happens in a way like, because I talked about in the other show, we're supposed to know some things, we're supposed to know. So sometimes we get confused when something happens and there's no real explanation. Like, you can't do the math, you can't work it out, you can't add it up. It's like, that's kind of random, even though the universe is random to a certain extent. But a lot of times this is our ego. It's in the way of us seeing what actually happened, because like I say, we're supposed to know, and everything always adds up and makes sense. You have an action, you have a reaction. There's always a reason. So, again, and you always want to come back to yourself. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do wrong? Or what did I do to cause this reaction? But our bubble, our algorithm protects us from getting that far. We put the blame on something else, or we said something else. We explain it away with something super fantastic, like aliens or something, like, something that could be true, but most likely isn't, and then we've been watching TV. If I don't want to give away my age, but, I saw the internet being born when there was no internet, and then there is an internet. Like, the whole world is totally changed as a result of that. TV, I pretty much saw TV. I mean, it was around when I was a kid, but it wasn't like it was as I got older, because my grandfather listened to the radio. That's what he did. He was a professional baseball player. He really liked to listen to the radio, and it was other, like, those radio shows where they do the, like, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but they had the horror stuff, and they had the, it was just all audio, no visual. It's like a show, right? I remember this. The television, though, we have grown up in the television, a lot of us, and it gives us this fantasy world that we think is real and true, and there goes the illusions of grandeur that we have. I'm gonna be like this person. Not to say that it can't happen. It's just that all of us can't be LeBron. All of us can't be Michael Jackson. Like, it's just not realistic. So, but the TV tells you that you can. So, but then with the future generation, with the kids now, it's the internet, it's the social websites, it's the TikToks, it's the social media, and they're stuck in these fantasies, and they're like, I can be this person. But the thing is, okay, there's nothing impossible. You can. But the thing is, from the jump, what they're presenting to you is not real. It's not real. It's fake off the top. So you can never be fake, because you're a real person. So you have to be a real person. You can't let your ego or your illusions make you want to aspire to be something that's fake, because you can't be that. You're real. You live here. You exist when you breathe, when you hear. Anyways, what's up, Pat?
What's up? What's up?
Let me read the comments. I'm missing comments. What's up, Doc? Nice to hear from you. He says, any links, finally getting my setup working better. He says, old saying, you are your own worst enemy. I'm telling you, I know I am. I wanted to say this too, because the other thing I was thinking about was, someone told me, they said, you sabotage yourself all the time, and I don't understand it. And it really kind of, I mean, I didn't say nothing at the time, but it's one of those things, because I overthink everything. So that's one of those lines that kept ringing in my head for still to this day. This was a couple years ago when this person said this, and it's still ringing in my ear to this day, because I think about it, and he's like, you sabotage yourself, and I really just don't understand it. And then I think about it, I'm like, shit, I don't understand it either. And you're right, I do. Time and time again. But when I'm in my head, and then when I'm in my ego, that's when I do those things where I sabotage myself, because it's like presenting myself in a way that is not really authentic, presenting myself that's not really me, and also making people feel some kind of way, And that's the problem, because the whole thing is, it's all about how you make other people feel.
And that's what are the reactions that you have. These are the results of the situations that you are in. It's because of the way you made people feel. It's not about your necessarily like your what you do, how well you do it, you know. It's not about that at all. It's not even about like what you say. It's really about how they felt as a result. And when you make people feel uncomfortable in a certain way, then the results are never going to be good. But see, that's the thing I struggle with all the time, because I'm like, making people feel uncomfortable. It's like this world is so backwards and upside down, and I'm blessed enough to see it. And I just feel like I need to scream it from the top of my lungs and help people see it. And it's like, but making them feel uncomfortable is like my way of showing that, like, this is really kind of backwards. But the results are not good. That's all I'm saying. I don't know that it's a good idea. Let me finish. The views and events expressed here are totally whacked and are not necessarily the views of anyone.